Good morning. I am Dave Lewis, and I'm Vice President of the Society of American Foresters, and on behalf of SAF President Fred Cubbage and the 12,000 natural resource professionals across the country, I welcome you to the first Society of American Foresters Hagenstein Lecture event. SAF is the national scientific and educational organization representing the forestry profession in the United States. Founded in 1900 by Gifford Pinchot, the first chief of the United States Forest Service, SAF remains dedicated to the original goal of bringing forestry and natural resource professionals together and to keep them informed about the latest advances in forest science and management. SAF is pleased to honor the legacy of former SAF President Bill Hagenstein. In his 99 years, Mr. Hagenstein did so much to advance the growth and development of the forestry profession in the United States. He was a passionate advocate for forest management and his fellow professionals, and we intend to keep those conversations going that he started with all of you. The conversations today and those in the future will feature diverse perspectives on forests and forest management, providing an opportunity for natural resources professionals to share their excitement and experiences with audiences who may not have given much thought to the contribution that forests make to the quality of life and to communities. We hope that these thoughtful exchanges are catalysts for action, with all of us working together to determine how to sustain these resources that are important contributors to social, environmental, and economic well-being here and across the globe. We are pleased to welcome this strong group of participants from all over the country and to lead these conversations. And we thank Representative Westerman, Senator Risch, and Representative Kilmer for helping us secure this venue and for contributing to these important dialogues. We want this to be a dynamic discussion with time for conversation between panelists and all of you. So I encourage you to ask questions and share your thoughts with all of us today and in the future. The SAF staff who organized this event, with its focus on working forests and ties to rural economies, asked me as a consulting forester to get this discussion started by sharing a little bit about myself, my professional experience, the forest landowners I work with, and what excites me about this profession. Like a lot of foresters, I started my career while in college with a summer job with the U.S. Forest Service. Mine was on the Klamath National Forest in Northern California. Having spent the better part of my youth living and working on my family's farm in rural North Florida, I found it pretty hard to believe that they would pay me to essentially hike around in the mountains all day. That summer job ignited a lifelong passion for forestry that is yet to burn out. Today, to this day, I find I am incredibly proud to call myself a forester and honored to manage this incredible resource. While in forestry school at the University of Florida, I began another relationship that has brought me here today. I joined the Society of American Foresters. SAF is the gatekeeper for sound forest science, sustainable forest management, and the ethical practice of forestry. This connection has provided value to me throughout my career, not only as the source for current information on a particular management activity or emerging concern, but this professional society introduces me to foresters from all over the country. They may not manage the same tree species that I do, but they help me expand my knowledge of practices and often alert me to opportunities and emerging threats in other parts of the country that I can bring back home to Florida. As I've progressed in my career, first as a procurement forester and then as a consulting forester, I have observed how interrelated and interdependent the forestry community is. Like links in a chain, the forest, the landowner, the forester, the logger, the log truck driver, the mill worker, the local fuel distributor, the store clerk, the tire store owner, the teacher, the police officer, and the mayor are all interdependent. Break one link in that chain, and the system begins to fall apart. And if that mill closes, all of those linkages are affected as well as many others. Without those markets, there is no forest management. Without markets, there is no forest management. In my role as a forestry consultant and co-owner of Southern Forestry Consultants, I have worked mostly with small to medium-sized private forest landowners in my career. They are generally very good stewards of the land, but they all have different objectives. And even though forest management may not be the highest priority for a primary objective for them owning their land, they do have a diverse set of objectives that drive each landowner. Most landowners manage their forests sustainably because they'd be foolish not to. They are making a very long-term investment, and the horizon needs to be as clear as possible in order for them to make and hold on to that investment. Anything that begins to cloud that horizon, increased regulation, uncertain markets, unfavorable tax treatment, decreases the chances that that landowner will make and maintain that investment in the forest. And if that happens, the links in the chain begin to weaken. I work with this kind of decision-making on a daily basis, knowing that managed and working forests sustain not only the forest, but also the community and the culture.